What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Let me know if you can hear me. I don't think my mic was muted, so you probably heard me drinking and swallowing, all the fun stuff. I'm making little noises. What's happening? Let's get the camera, the music. Let me make sure I'm live everywhere. Looks like I'm good on Twitch. YouTube is giving me ads. All right, looks like I'm good there as well. Guys, let me know if you can see me, you can hear me before I get too far. In the meantime, I am going to get you guys the link to the giveaway. So let's do that. Update competition. All right. And let me check it first. Make sure I did it right. Yep. All right. And let me go ahead and pin it where it needs to be pinned. So first we'll go to YouTube. Enter here. Here for your chance to win filament from Polymaker. Must be present to win. Paste. We're going to copy it again. I'm going to paste that. Let's pin this. All right, and then we're going to put that on Twitch as well. There we go, and let's pin that. End of stream. Okay, so that should all be pinned. All right, guys, so as per usual, some of you guys already know, Polymaker does a giveaway for my streams. That's how they sponsor the streams. That's why we have this right over here. Thank you, Polymaker. And what we do is at the end of the stream, I will call one of the lucky winners, and you'll have some filament, because it might be more than one spool even, which is fantastic. So thank you, Polymaker, for that. And you guys must be present. International winners welcome. All that fun stuff. They ship everywhere, so that's really fun. All right, let's catch up with everybody. I actually saw that there were plenty of people here early, like super early. The problem is I could see them before I hit live, and as soon as I hit live, it like refreshes them, and I can no longer see them and say anything about it, unfortunately. So the first person I see is Nigel. What's going on? Wix Central, Joe Rust, Eric. What's happening? Pez Liz. I should have streamed a little longer. Well, I appreciate that anyway. Wick Allen, 3D Odyssey, Tulsa. What's happening? Jim, Brian, One Raz, Mr. Walkman. I think you were the first one. I think it was like this is the earliest I've ever been. Nice. I can hear, I can see. Okay, good. JP, what's happening? Gang, Quinn Man, what's happening? I'm doing great. Everything's good. How are you doing? How are you? Let's see. Anyone else? That's me pinning stuff. The Shrimp Father himself is here. I did see Amanda's up here as well somewhere. LRE, what's up? What's up? Greg, how are you? Lamert, of course. What's up? What's up? Bunch of addicts waiting. That's right. Man. JNR. Hello. Da Vinci, Mark, Petty Ruxpin. We got the whole gang up in here. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys brought some beverages because I have nothing super planned out. There's a bunch of things happening. Like I have maybe too many projects at the same time. I kind of want to just hang out, chat with you guys, and do some things, talk through some projects we're working on. Maybe do some 3D stuff. Maybe start some prints, or maybe at least get planning of prints going. Maybe make some build plates in a slicer. Yes, iced coffee today. How did you know, Mr. Walkman, first of all? It's only iced coffee because it's super hot in here. Maybe you could tell by my sports gloss. But it's super hot. I have a fan running for whatever reason. Love the video on filament dryers. How I found your channel. Oh, awesome. First of all, thank you very much. That video was one of the poorest videos that I've on the channel in a while, as far as performance goes. Since that video, actually, Unity, I've put up just like some super casual shorts. Obviously, shorts get more views, blah blah, but they've, I don't know, quintupled, if not, more than that, views of the video that I like worked really hard on and had a bunch of material for. So kind of interesting. But thank you. I appreciate that you like that and that you're here after that. So it's what I'm drinking. Okay, cool. So, well, cheers, because me too. I have some other drinks as well. you know, you got to have the 2 fingers, and then some bubble water, of course. GTR, what's happening? Sam, I'm here while I work on a Micron tool changer. Nice. Micron tool changer. That was one other thing. And Jeff, what's going on? I see you up there, net. Yeah, I was gonna work on the Micron, but I feel like I get into a sprint with a Micron where I do like 3-4 live streams, and I even work on it off live streams. And not that I get burnt out, it's an amazing thing to work on. But you know, there's other stuff to do, and I want to kind of just do it all, you know, at the same time. I only make shorts because videos put lots of time and effort, but shorts you record printer pooping and you get tons of views and subs. Yeah, that's what they do. They get views and subs. That's right. Yeah, right. It's the problem is you can only grow a channel so much. You have to get extremely successful with shorts in order for you to be able to grow the channel as far as companies getting involved. Because they all want you to, you know, review their machine, check out their machine, or whatever their product is. And it's usually pretty tough with shorts. It's a tough sell unless you have a really, really like big actual following. So I always like doing shorts. I've liked doing them, you know, since the beginning. They're kind of fun. They're a nice intermediate thing to do. So I'll always be doing them. But yeah, you have to do it some other way. What's sitting on top? Yep, that's right. Tulsa. Yep, it was a spool rewinder. I needed to get some black filament off of one of these 5 kilogram spools. So I did that. I also been using it to combine a ton. So off camera over there, maybe we can do some of that even at some point during the stream. Off camera, I have a stack probably as tall as me of almost empty spools, and sometimes it's fun to just join them together and make one large spool, you know. And that thing has come in handy a bunch. So I'm good today. Hope I win. I hope you win too. Best of luck, and good to know you're doing all right. I've been able to hit 500 pretty easily, but I want to make videos, not sure about what. You know, usually the videos that do well, if you like legit want to know, the videos that do well are things that are like the gifts that keep on giving, usually are a tutorial of some sort, something like some kind of useful information that you know, or maybe just a few people know. The problem with them is, especially in this field, they get kind of outdated. You know, sometimes I tend to like chase a new product like every, you know, 3D print YouTuber does, and because of the viewership, I will never get it first, so I always kind of get the bottom of the litter anyway. So I find that there's no point to rush into those either. So if in the back of your mind you're like, oh, maybe I'll do like a review of a printer, if you do it, don't rush like some new machine or something. You know, take your time, and like even reviewing an older machine does pretty well on YouTube, because it, you know, people are always looking to buy, people are always looking to upgrade, that type of thing. So that's what I've been doing. That's why I haven't rushed out to do any reviews at all. So I watched that video 2 times. Nice, Nat. Well, I appreciate that. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's a good one. That's a good bill right there. So yeah, some of the things I have going on is I have a multi-board project that did a little short on it where I printed these things stacked. So I figured maybe some people might want to know how to do that. So that might be fun to go over. I don't really need any more of these printed because I printed a lot. I printed 5 kilograms of this stuff, and there's about the same amount on the wall. These are 24 by 24, which makes them 350 by 350 millimeters. And I've been printing these on the K2 using every single millimeter of the print bed. I'm really surprised that it actually works. In fact, sometimes it throws an error that something is out of bounds, and you click retry and it just prints. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. That's something we can go over as well. I am waiting on more of this Chitty Tech filament to finish up the K1 Max, because the bracing on that machine takes up quite a bit of filament, and I want to complete it. So I ordered another one of these spools because I am empty. And these are awesome. This is not how it goes, but they attach this way, and it's one giant piece. You can actually drill and tap more holes into the K1 Max to really just solidify the sides. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I feel like this thing plus The actual glass is going to do quite a bit already, so I'll probably do that first. I can drill and tap it. That might be fun to do as well. So I need to print 2 more of these reversed, and then a whole nother set. And I think that filament comes tomorrow. So I'll probably start those prints tomorrow. Almost at 2K hours on my P1S. Thinking making a video how the experience has been so far. Yeah, 2K hours is plenty. That would be a great test. Yeah, and there's still people shopping around, and sometimes like the reviews, or sometimes they're either paid, or sometimes you want a smaller channel's opinion because they're more real, like this. So yeah, it's always a good idea to just review the thing that you like that you genuinely like or don't like. So, dear Lord, that's a lot of printers. I have reviewed 78 printers on this channel so far. So this is actually a very minimal amount of printers. So, hey, 3D-matic, how you doing? Cheese bacon. Is there no way to put heat certs in that K1 Max upgrade you did? No. What do you mean? Is there no way to put heat certs in that K1 Max upgrade I did? So the upgrade I did was the entire, what's it called? Oh, you mean on the sides? Yeah, there is. You just won't use the self-tappers on the gantry. I'm assuming you mean how the gantry's held in together. I actually don't think how it's held in is a problem. But yeah, if you stripped it, yeah, you kind of have to reprint that part. So yeah, you might want to make those holes larger. It would be really easy to do. And then put in inserts there, and then instead of using self-tappers, you can just do 3mm into there. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? Where is the QR code? My camera can't read it. Here, here, let me do this. I'll help you out. I need the tiny 4K. Why is it like the stick to the top? All right, hold on. AI tracking, tap unlock. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it might be because I put the mic right here. Here we go. I tried to hide the mic. You let me know. Let me know. What do you think? It's a little 3D because of my body. I'm not sure if it was a good idea. Because I'm like a hologram. Well, I'm seeing lots of posts with people printing the multi-board and honeycomb walls for the past few weeks. It's because they're great systems. You mentioned it was threaded into plastic. That stuff. Yeah. Oh, you mean the stiffener part? They get threaded into the actual aluminum chassis, and you can drill and tap it. But yeah, the gantry is just self-threads into plastic, but it's holding up great. I've already been printing a few blocks just to get things moving. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. All right, let's go back to this. You guys figure out where that goes? Let me know if you figured it out. Oh, it's not working because of the mic? All right, hold on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, magnet fell. All right, hold. Ooh. There we go. That might be too loud now. I'm going to move it this way, maybe? Yeah, okay. Let's try that. All right, how about now? Boom. Hit it. Actually, let me see if I can do it in my preview. No. Okay, let me zoom in again. Oh. Oh. There we go. Let me see. Okay, it works on my screen. That's right. So the idea here is, it'll be cool in some videos. Good to know that the mic can't be placed there, so thank you for that. Yeah, I think it'll be fun to just have on videos. People will be curious about it and kind of snap a pic of the video and see where it goes. I don't know. And then I have a version that has it on the back as well for, you know, conventions if I ever make it out, you know, more than 3D Printopia. Just I think it'll be more interesting than my regular logo. I might get somebody that cares slightly more, you know, once they have it on their phone. I don't know. That's the general idea. So, I was hoping you rickrolled us. I thought about it, believe me. I can see the mic move when I drink, so hopefully you guys can't just like hear me chugging or whatever, you know, maybe. Speaking of which, 3dprintsos.com is a fantastic website where you can get you guys some merch. So this is my latest shirt right now. This is the original farmer shirt. I have this version if you're into Prusa machines, and I have another version if you're into bamboo machines. So that's a fun one. We also have the classic i3D print shirt. Always gets attention. One of my favorites. I've probably overworn this shirt, like it's actually worn. I should probably get another one. Snip, snip. We got the logo. We have the other farmer shirt. The classic blob. We all have been here at some point or another. And you guys recognize that hot end. That's usually when the blob happens. We have the absolute vintage Fitters 3D printed spaghetti since 2018 here. And also the acclaimed Benchy Speedboat Race that you can enter. Fantastic as well. The prices are as low as they could possibly be. On top of that, we have a few hoodies and some awesome... Can you see this? Can we see this? Let's see. Awesome mats. They're fantastic. Large. You can put a printer on there. A Micron will fit perfectly on one. Help dampen the vibrations. Have them in some different colorways. Fantastic double-walled mugs with some beautiful illustrated by me hot ends, and of course the i3D print mug as well. We also have some fun handheld consoles that I've designed the case for and modify myself. You can get one custom made or pick from whatever is currently available in stock. I think it's just these top two for now. So yeah, check that out. They make some cool gifts as well. And of course, this is what the contest looks like, or the giveaway. There's 24 entries, so really good chances to get it. 2 hours left, or something like that. So, my son has Rickroll QR in his car. Smart. ASMR. Yeah, that's right. Turn off the music and just start drinking. So yes. So one of the things I wanted to show, let's see, let's get this camera set up where it should. Let's do this, do that, and this. All right, so this is what I've been working on. Probably going to be the next video. I haven't shot anything for it because I just want to make sure that my design actually works. But essentially what I'm doing is, you guys probably already know, I have over here this game shelf, and I love this game shelf. You know, this is actually the back of the game shelf. There's another room over there, and if you go around from the other side, that's where the game display is. And it's just a collection that I've had forever. But it's an eyesore. And I am going to get rid of a bunch of stuff that's right here. There's actually just boxes down there. I'm going to get rid of them. And I wanted that to be a little bit more functional. So as you can tell right there, I found the perfect size of multiboard. It doesn't quite stretch across. There is a small several millimeter gap in between each panel. So you do have to kind of stick to the panel itself and not kind of go in between them unless you modify some things. But it stays with the standard panels, and I found a way to attach them onto there. So I'm trying to, here's the design so far that I've had. This was the initial design that I made. It kind of just goes in the corner, and one of the sides has a hole in it. And the whole point here is there is an arrow. You essentially point this to the corner that you want. I'm not sure why it's not. There it goes. So you'd point this to a corner. There you go. For example, here, I'll do it backwards like this. So if I was putting it here, I would point this to a corner like this, like that. I would snap this in, just like that. And now, when you put this thing in, you can put a hole in it, double-side tape, whatever this thing holds. That was the original. It's flush, and it worked great. The problem is, when you put this on, and if you do drill through your IKEA calyx there, the problem is you can't get this off. You have to go on the other side, unscrew, and then you can take the panel off. So if something happens, or you don't want them there anymore, or you want to take the panel off to modify it, or whatever, this actually doesn't work so well. Otherwise, it's really nice because it actually pushes this up against the calyx, so there's no chance of it ever coming off. So it has a strength, but I don't like the weakness here. So then I designed another version of this. I didn't like it either. And then the latest I have is actually this one. It has a whole bunch of redesign to it. It's actually slightly offset. You can tell it's not quite in the middle there. And it also, whoops, it also has an arrow that you point to the corner. And you can see by the design, so what you do here is you mount this onto that corner where this thing is pointed at. So this would go like that for the lower one. And then you can push this panel in like that. And that's not enough. To lock it in, you have this other piece. There is a little marking down there, a square and a square here. You match them up, and then you can lock it in from this side. And additionally, you need a mid screw, right? Mid T-bolt. You need a mid T-bolt to screw into this, and it locks these two in place. So this is the one that I really liked and started to print in mass. And I ran into some issues. One, I got to take that off. So let me get this little key. So I ran into an issue where, maybe I should run this by Jonathan, by the way, the actual designer slash owner operator of this whole shebang. But the problem is printing this thing. Printing this, I don't want to break it because I need it for the video. Printing this means that I have to print it upwards like this with supports. And that also means that the layer lines go horizontally. So if you over tighten this, or you push it a certain way, or you put too much weight, this thing just snaps off. It's really easy to break. And that's the problem not only with this particular one, it was also the problem with the original. So I want to come up with some way to print this sideways or laying down like this, so that the layer lines are as strong as they can be and give this thing the best chance that it can. So that's kind of where I am. I'm thinking maybe that's something that we play with because it's kind of dual purpose. Like if I actually can crack it, then I think I'll be able to shoot that video and actually have a video for you guys instead of just shorts and live stream. So that's something I'm looking at. And this was just a fun test. I wanted to prove that you can also do this with a much smaller machine. You can print them individually or stack them, and that worked. And the way to attach these things, I left this here for us to do during this live stream. So you have to print a couple parts. You have to get these flat push-in. I forgot what the actual names of these things are called, but these are non-weight bearing. So you kind of pop them in and make sure they do go flat. So there you go, they're flat. And this I'm going to connect these two basically. So then once those are flat from the back side, you have one of these guys. I don't remember what they're called. I'll have to look it all up. And you kind of put them together, and there is a little bit of a snap to it. And then these are called locking T-bolts. There's different sizes, and I remixed one for the longer, if you guys don't want these flush snaps. There we go. You kind of just start threading it in, and the easiest for me is these needle nose pliers. You kind of just twist it, and you know when it's all the way maxed out. You can feel it. So that's that one, and then we do this side, and this kind of just locks it in place. And I do really, really enjoy this system. I really like this. I know it's complex, and it is harder to find stuff because there's just so much. But I really love the way that this goes together, and it just feels more modular and just better. So there you go. And also, you don't have to get rid of any of your honeycomb stuff. That's also the coolest part, is they make these snaps with the honeycomb in it, since these are octagons. So you don't even have to get rid of anything that you already have if you don't want to. So you can screw this to the wall in many different ways. You can go through these things, which you can go offset in various ways. You can go through any of these pinholes here, not pinholes, pegboard holes. All pegboard works here. You can also go through, there's other designated ways to put it on. You can see in the center there, there's a little piece. So lots of ways you can install this onto your wall, and it's legit. It can hold a ton of weight. So that's what I'm working with. I want to find a way to put this on there so that I can organize all my stuff that's over there. You can kind of see it there, all my, not my board game collection, but my game console collection, my handheld game console collection. I want it to go there. Some of you guys might remember I built some of the ultimate setups on a live stream. Oh, camera, you're supposed to be moving. There you go. Come on. I have my ultimate original Game Boy with LEDs. We got, it plays, I have a cartridge that literally has every single game on there. Has a USB-C battery, has a backlit screen. It's beautiful. And then I did the same thing with the Game Boy Advance. Also has everything, including a ridiculous amplifier. Also plays every game. USB-C battery, all the fun stuff. So these are like the ultimate consoles, and I love collecting these. And I worked pretty hard to be able to spend this amount of money on these things, you know, because they are expensive. And I have a bunch of versions of this, essentially. Here's a DSi that I have. So I'd love to showcase this stuff. Here's a DSi that I put into a clear case. You can kind of see into it. It's the same deal. Able to play pretty much everything on there. So yeah, super fun. And yeah, that's why I'm doing the multi-board thing. We'll start over there. All right, let me catch up with what you guys have been talking about, because I haven't looked at the chat for a while. How's the little one doing? Fantastic. Getting bigger and bigger. Hey, Sean Don, what's up? Hey, Nico, what's happening, man? Bluff. Great mounting solution. Awesome. Yeah, you know, hopefully once I like crack the code, I'll share it, obviously. And it's gonna be a good one. Came just in time. I was just thinking about using the system. Ask some questions for you. Yeah, feel free. This is the time to ask, right? What's up, losers? One of the major issues with multi-board is the printing orientation of the mounts. Which ones? Which ones, Nigel? So also keep in mind, they also have redone a lot. Like, there's a lot of updates. There's a lot of things. So I'm not sure. Maybe there was like older ones. Feder, can I help with the redesign? I've done stuff where you can split and fold things. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'll load up Fusion. So one of the problems is I'm really bad at Fusion. Like, I'm really bad at it. I hate it. So I don't hate it. I'm just really bad at it. I'm way better at like a direct design program, like Spark Mechanical was. But you know, I'm trying. So we'll make something happen. Hey, Korea Ricebox. Nice. Making them modular into parts so that each parts can be glued together. Can just be glued together. Yeah, that could be a thing. I've thought about making it like a screw-in. But I have a feeling that I can just cut off a piece. Basically, what I want to try to do is take one of these. And you see how like this doesn't go all the way to the edge? I'm thinking about taking one of these and modifying this to have the part coming off. That way, it could be laid flat. So that's what I want to try first. What's the difference between this system and the honeycomb one? I did the honeycomb one for my basement setup. I wanted to do one for the garage too. So this is a perfect question, considering this is all honeycomb, and I'm going to be moving to this system. So the first thing is organization and what you can and can't do. This system has so much going on and so much you can do that a lot of people say is really overwhelming and don't get into it. And that's the main reason why I didn't get into this earlier. If you just go on multiboard.com, .io, it can be overwhelming. There's so many mounts. There's so many variations. There's a lot. And then there's also other systems that it incorporates, like what's it called? Multi-box, right? Is that what it's called? I can never remember the names. There's so many names. There's it also does Gridfinity. It also does honeycomb adapters. So no matter which system you have, you can kind of adapt them into this one. Whereas this is really community driven. You can go on Thingiverse and go down the line of every single person trying to make things for this. There are remixes for this, but the original has so much, and the guidelines are so much better that even the remixes for this are like more professional, if that makes sense. This thing is like, you'll download one mount and it mounts one way, and you'll download another mount and it mounts a different way because someone had another idea. And you have to go to this remix, to this remix, to this remix to find one file. And this one doesn't fit, whereas this one does. I've had a lot of fitment issues with this over the years. Obviously, I really like it because of what it ended up being, but I did have a bunch of problems with things not fitting and so on and so forth. So this solves that quite a bit. They give you step files for everything. They encourage remixing, but the system is like protected. So it's going to be right, which I actually really appreciate. I also like that not only does it incorporate all those other systems, it also does pegboard. So if you wanted to just literally use the pegboards that you have in your garage, you could use this. And I think that's so clever. Like, this is legit. And also, they're starting to do these little like packs where you can like get a pack and utilize it. I think the first one is an introduction to all of the things. So you can like grab the files, just print those, and like figure out how it all works, because there is a lot of different ways the connectors work, and there's weight-bearing things and there's not weight-bearing things. So that's the main difference. Is one is really, really advanced and organized, and the other one is less so. Those are the main differences to me. Also, keep in mind honeycomb, because it only has 6 sides. If you rotate it one way, it faces a different way. So on this one, the tops have to be flat, the sides have the angles, whereas this is all octagons. So you can rotate this in any direction, and it'll always be facing the same. So the orientation here doesn't matter, which means the mounts and the things that it does are automatically, like, there's just a lot more that you can do with this as you can with the honeycomb. One of the things that kind of bothers me about honeycomb is sometimes I want things next to each other or separate in a certain grid, but I can't because they're slightly offset. So if I wanted something right next to each other, I can't because it has to be offset. Then I have to skip a part and put it next to each other. Whereas here, they're all touching each other, so you don't need to go honeycomb diagonal here. So there's that. Also, not everything here is free because of the amount of work and organization that went in here. So there's that. A lot of it is free. Most of it is free. So there's that. But hopefully I covered everything. I think that's everything. Only honeycomb push fit. Yeah, that's right. Most of the honeycomb, if not all of honeycomb, is just push. That's why I have the mallet here. You got a mallet. This, you can go from both sides. You can screw things in. Oh, right. That's another thing, is every single thing here has a thread. The big things in here have a thread, so you can actually thread something in. The small things have a thread, so you can thread something in. Even the mid pieces have something you can thread in. And then the smaller pieces that you put in have a thread. So you can actually use every single mount on here. Even these, like, I chose this version, but I could have chosen a different version that has a thread in it, so even more. So it just keeps going and going and going. It's really crazy. Main things, 8 side. Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay, I'm just going down the list. If I was going to order a custom Game Boy 3D prints, how do I order in a certain color and material? We can just chat about it. You can send me an email or message anywhere, and we can chat about the colors. People have ordered before and just wrote in the comments what they want, what color buttons. So it's all to order. You can literally, if it exists, I'll be able to order it and get it and put it together. So if you want something specific for the buttons, or you want a two-tone, color or material, if I can print it, we'll do it that way. That's how it works, Quinn, to answer your question. I have an original Sega Genesis, nice, that I got from a buddy that I need to clean up and restore. Until then, I can play games in my Batocera. That's right, you can. Batocera is great. Ping me on Discord. We can talk easier. They were right. Okay, okay. QRS remix stuff to mount. Want to be printed face down, directional generally. If anyone has multi-board questions, hit me up on Discord. I've been using it for over a year and have designed a bunch of tool holders. Nice. Awesome. Thanks, Brian. That's very nice. Multi-bin. There you go. What did I say? Multi-box? Ridiculous. That's nothing against the system. It's literally my brain. I do this for major brands and everything. Even names of my own children. So, only problem with the pegboard is that multi-board is 25mm spacing. US pegboard is 1 inch. Not bad for adjacent holes, but over longer distance will drift. Yeah, okay. Multi-board designer to help planning is great too. Yep. I had to go into Tinkercad and chop honeycomb wall parts up because they were oriented at the wrong angle. Right. Yeah, absolutely, man. What's the QR code on your shirt? Here, I'll do you a favor. I did this earlier, but I'll do it again. Here, check it out. Wait for it. There you go. Boom. How am I standing crooked? There we go. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Hey, icon. Octagons are abestigons. You do a custom modded DS with RGB buttons and Bluetooth audio and USB-C charging and capturing. Not a... Hold on. So I can do DS lights because those are the ones I have. I can do RGB. I can't do Bluetooth audio. I can do USB-C, although I have a bunch of chargers, so I tend not to do them. I kind of like the original hardware there. I guess I can. And capturing. What do you mean by capturing? You mean to be able to do to plug it into your TV through AV? I can do that as well. Just so I finish my honeycomb wall, something better comes out. I mean, it's been Daniel. It's been out for a while, and like I said, man, it's gonna take me a while to get away from this because this works really well. But there's other areas that I want this system, and it's just better to go with this. It just is. So at some point I will be redoing this, and I don't know if I'll just make, to save a bunch of plastic, I don't know if I'll just make print adapters for all of this stuff, because that's an option. It's actually, the adapters are even easier than you think. You literally push in the adapter in here, and then you're good to go. So, yeah. Don't rickroll me? No, I didn't. Zoom in and square in the same sentence. Yes. All right, so let's do this. Let me load up Fusion. How big are the modded macro SOS? I'll show you one. Let me grab this one. Actually, I'll show you the two that I currently have available. They're a little dusty. Here, let's do it this way. Here's how big they are. You want a comparison to a console? Here, let's do... So the point of these two is these two are not the DS modded ones. I mean, they're DS Lites, but these are essentially Game Boy Advances because of their buttons. So this is a standard this is a standard Game Boy Advance. And that's how thick they are. So they're thinner by quite a bit. They're flat. Also, if you want to play with an R4 card that goes into here, they are much smaller. So if you're playing with just an R4 card and you don't want that bumper, they are actually smaller quite a bit. Here, let's lay it down on this. So that's about the size. Oh, and then, so, you know, they have a little lanyard too. So here's an iPhone 15 or something like that, 14. You know, it's smaller than an iPhone and about as thick as an iPhone with a case. So that's the size. In my opinion, these are perfect. So, and then you have the bumper, where you put in your cartridge and then it slots right in, just like that. The newer ones have magnets. The ones to order have magnets to hold it in there if you want, but they kind of help you with your pinkies, and you can still get to your audio jack and the rest. So yeah, that's about the size. They kind of like fit in your hand, very pocketable. So this one is just the standard Game Boy Advance games. Like that's what it's designed to do. Game Boy Advance, that type of thing. Pretty cool. And this one has customizable RGB, and it's see-through, which is cool. So same deal for this one. It also strives to be just a great Game Boy Advance, essentially. So if you have Game Boy Advance games that you like, or just have an R4 card with a bunch of things that you like, the R4 card will go in here. But yeah, those are the two that I currently have in stock. And then the ones to build are, they'll be literally scratch built. They take a little bit of time. It'll probably take me, one, I have to order parts because I stock some parts, but I don't have everything. So if you wanted something really specific or a specific color that I didn't have, I have to order stuff. Battery life, probably like a couple hours, to be honest, because they have the standard batteries inside and they use the standard charger. So they're not, but they are rechargeable and you can always plug them in. If you have the original charger, you have that. This one, the one that I'll provide is USB. You just plug in USB on any side and then charge it away. A few hours. I don't think you'll be playing anything on the Game Boy Advance for as long as the batteries will last. I know from experience, I went on like a binge where I kind of wanted to play a ton of games that I've never had before since I have access to all of them. And no matter how long of a session that I've ever had, I've never run the thing dry, especially if it was fully charged. So the battery life will last longer than your attention span. Another huge advantage of Multiboard is underwear, with the caveat that I think Open Grid is better for this application if that's all you're doing. How much would that cost me? Yes, DS or DSi is good. No DS or DSi. Really specifically DS Lite. That's what my cases are for. Can you do it in a light green body with maroon red accents? Yes. But shoot me a message. Also, when you go on the website, there's drop downs for all the pricing, so you can put your package together on the site. So the pricing is there. Hey, Tech Jeeper, what's happening? I gotta look up what Huey Lewis is. American singer. I don't know who that is. I never even heard of Huey Lewis. Hey, Serge, what's happening? Hey, Gryfang, what's up, guys? How are you? Hey, Havoc. I got a DS Lite, but could never get the emulator card working properly. It does take a little bit of patience because all of the emulator cards have their own like firmware. If you want, shoot me a message. I'll show you which ones I get. They're really inexpensive from AliExpress, or you can get them on Amazon for like 17, 20 bucks or so. Actually, I'll show you right now. We don't need to do that. Here, I'll show you this. So this is the one that I use, and I have firmware for it that I can like send you. So I use it says 2023 on the edge here. So I use these. And with, in this case, 32 gig is what you want in here anyway. 32 gig SD. So this is the updated macro. This is the one that'll actually do DS. It has the screen flip, the switcher. It'll also run, any other game. This will literally run any games that a DS Lite can do. It still retains the touch screen as well. Here, let this thing go. Yeah. Here we go. Metal Slug. I think Metal Slug works on here. I don't remember. But yeah, so you can switch screens. Audio's cranked all the way for whatever reason. Turn that down. Yeah, some games just don't function. There it goes. All right. Yeah, yeah. So as you can see, you know, main mission. Oh, this is not a touchscreen game. Yeah. Normal. I'm just gonna click through real quick just so you can see. Yeah. So this is a DS game that plays on 2 screens, and you can see you can switch and do your thing. Crazy fun game, by the way. Very, very difficult as well. But yeah, this utilizes the full screen. Obviously, if you're going to play advanced games, it won't do a full screen. It just kind of goes, you know, it has you can actually do, what are they called? Borders. So you can run a cool border, like if you want a specific Game Boy border on the edges. With this one specifically, this is like the most expensive one. There's also a chip in here that lets you plug in AV into here and put it into a TV. So you can play this video out as literally a console. So you can flip screens onto a big screen and use this thing as a controller, like a wired controller. A lot of fun stuff. Oh, here's the magnet version. So if you don't have a cartridge in here and you still want the bottom, it just jumps on as a magnet, and now you can rest your fingers on there. So kind of a cool little thing. But you can see how far you can see how far I kind of took this. Maybe even too far. Like this could be the main focus of a channel, let alone a random byproduct of an idea. So let's see. Heard of Back to the Future? Of course. First Spinal Tap, now Huey Lewis. That's true. Both of those are before my time. That's true. Oh my god, my Voron Trident's alive, finally. Nice. Heck yeah, man. That's great. Gotta love it when a Voron is alive. I've been using mine. You can see it's on. Been printing with it. It's fantastic. It's an addicting machine, to be honest. Hey, Wilmar, what's going on? Is the battery power charge through? Meaning, because use it while it's charging. Yeah, you can use it while it's charging. Yes, and the charger is on the upper side over here. It's on the upper side, so when you're playing it, it doesn't like interfere with your pinky or whatever. It's completely out of the way. So it is a proprietary plug, but I do have, like I said, I do have those chargers. I bet you know his songs and don't realize it. 100%. I'm horrible with names. I've 100% heard all the classics, obviously. So. He's not old enough to remember the good music. I see what you did there. It's all right. That's all right. He was famous in the 80s. The song Back to the Future, Power Love. Okay. Back to the Future is a fantastic movie. One of my favorites, actually. The original, of course. Does it make us too old if we grew up with that music? No, I don't think so, Greg. I respect my elders. I got nothing against anybody. Everyone has their different tastes, you know? No problem. No comment. Old soul, that's right. Caldor, first of all, I remember that store. I used to go to that store when I was a kid. Caldor, man, good deals in that store. But yeah, records. No, tapes were my thing. My first, I had a Walkman. That was my first thing. I had a Walkman with a speaker on the side, with some like super cheap over-ear headphones. My first tape was The Prodigy, Fat of the Land. I also had Korn. Was it Freak on a Leash? Follow the Leader. I think I had on tape. Or was that disc already? Yeah, that was disc. That was later. What other tapes did I have? I remember not vaguely. I remember really specifically the Prodigy Fat of the Land cassette. Definitely had. Mixtapes, nice. Rum makes everything better. True. Oh yeah, Caldor. I remember it. What's the closest that we have now? Kind of like Burlington or something? Was the judge that wouldn't let Marty's band play at the school dance. Interesting. That's a fun little fact. Can you keep both screens? No. So the point, Quinn, just to get back to this, the whole point of the thing is I buy broken DS lights that are destined for the trash, and I kind of like recycle them into this. So pretty much all these systems are going to have one screen. I'm not like redoing the original DS. I'm making them into a single screen console, if that makes sense. One summer, I bought 16 Prodigy albums on CDs. Wow. And now that's what I'll call music volume 3. Yuri. Yes. That's some good memories right there. That's good. 8-track, baby. Nice. Burlington Coat Factory. Well, yeah, you're right. It is a Coat Factory, but I feel like they sell everything. Maybe I'm just mistaken. I haven't been to one of those in ages. That's funny. All right, let's do this. Let me load up Fusion, which I think is what I was trying to do at some point. But luckily, we don't have a set task to do. Looks like my cameras are not enjoying this for some reason. I'm getting some lag. Am I losing you guys? Hopefully we can handle this here. Let me turn some things off. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this and this and that. What else can we close? You know what? I'll close Discord. I'll get to it later. Lagging too. Yeah, I have a feeling Fusion was really demanding at launch there. And it takes forever to load, so I'll let it do its thing. Audio's fine, video's lagging. I have a feeling it had to do with me launching Fusion. Is, you know, resource hog. One other thing that I had outside of this, and maybe we'll switch to that at some point, is I do need to get started on my Death Racer build. Actually, that reminds me. Let me first turn on this heater. Let's go 360. Let's vent it minimally. I do want this thing to roll. So let's go fan. There we go. We're going to go 70 degrees at the hottest this goes. Let's see. So we want 70 degrees. Yeah, 70 is the hottest. All right, that's fine. And we're going to make this go for 12 hours. So 12 hours, 70 degrees. Let's go. And I want the fan speed to be max. And I want it to turn. All right, there it goes. Okay, cool. So that will get heating. So what I just did was I have a $300 roll of PPS CF. So that is what I actually want to use. That's what I want to use for my Death Racer. So it might be one of the most expensive Death Racers out there, I think. I also have some Peak that I was thinking of incorporating just to kind of solidify that title. Does the AV output both screens or just one screen at a time? It does one screen at a time, but the console displays the other one. So, for example, if you're playing Mario Kart, right, Mario Kart DS, you can have the main racing screen on the main screen, and the bottom will have your map on it where you're driving. Or if you're playing any of the other Mario games, you'll be like on the TV, but sometimes it'll like drop down onto your screen, like that type of thing. And keep in mind, the newer one, version 2, has the touchscreen still available. So if you're playing something like, I don't know, Plants vs. Zombies or something, you can still touch the screen to play some of those games. So, when will you get that ANET A8? Man, that's a good question, because it is in the pile that I'm trying to get rid of. Interesting. So hold on, I pretty much have plans for things up until the Death Racer. After the Death Racer, until something else unless something else comes out, I don't really have like another project. So I have the Micron Stealth Changer. I have this multiboard project. I have the Death Racer. I have the K1 Max upgrade series, I guess you want to call it. And then I have a few new machines coming. But they're all in the middle or towards the end of their life. So yeah, it's very possible we'll get to it this year. I don't want to say like, you know, guy, that's the best I can do. I really want to get to it, especially because at some point I will be making that Prusa into a Core 1. And when you make the Prusa into a Core 1, you don't have the Mark 4S anymore. You just have a few scraps. And I would technically like to do the ANET. I want to have the ANET and the Prusa for at least some shots, right? At least some few commentary shots. Which printer for the Death Racer? So I technically have 2 machines that can print PPS CF out of the box. That is my Chitty-Tech Plus 4 that's at my office. However, my spool is here. So the H2D is going to be the next machine that I have here that can do it. Technically speaking, my X1 Carbon can also do it, but it needs modifications. And I was actually thinking of maybe doing that. I do have a really incredible hot end by Slice Engineering to put in it. But the problem is it can only go to 300. However, you can trick the machine into printing it at 320 with a resistor. So I was thinking of doing that modification and using it to print some PPS as well. So that's kind of an option. Actually, does the FL Sun S1 Pro, FL Sun S1 Pro, can it print PPS? Because I actually don't know off the top of my head. Where is the heat? Hot end is 350. So there you go. My whole thing is invalid. I also have the FL Sun machine to do that with. Wow. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so there you go. So I have 3 machines that can do it out of the box, and 1 machine that could take a little bit of modification to get it to print. Yeah, hot end Maxim's 350. Wow. Yeah. So we can definitely do some PPS CF on this machine. Cool. So there you go. Those are my options. So Danet is a ghost that keeps coming back to haunt them. Yeah, yeah. I really want to do it, guys. Like, legit. Maybe I should just do it. Can't the X Plus 3 do it? I don't know. But B Cuddy has taken delivery of both of my X Plus 3s. I'm not sure. Great game. Great game, Zumi. Really fun. I thought you had that one KS printer that can print super. I do, but I don't want to use it because of how they treated the print house. That's kind of why it's been not on the channel anymore. I'm not even sure if I'm going to deal with them anymore, regardless of what they say. I really have to think about how I want to play that. Like, I'm not trying to stir up drama or anything like that. You know, the print house, Jerry, he's a friend of mine. And they just misconstrued his words because he had a bad experience with the machine. And the way that they handled it was super unprofessional and rubbed a bunch of creators the wrong way. It's been covered by 3D Musketeers and several other posts here and there. I just don't like how they handled it, and I don't like how they put the blame entirely on him, even though the machine came damaged, just like mine came damaged. Several other creators got it damaged. So that's why you haven't seen it. And like I said, it has a lot of potential. I really wanted to test it in a few different ways, and I stopped testing it because I don't think it can actually, well, maybe it can print peak, but not for a very long time. It has PTFE. It has a PTFE, what's it called, tape around the hot end, and the silicone sock, and those things melt at peak temperatures. So they claim that they're redoing a whole bunch of stuff, and I want to trust them. But like I said, that mishandling of how they talked to and about the print house really, really rubbed me the wrong way. So I think it would take some kind of miracle, not miracle, but I guess if they talk about it correctly, I don't want to say apologize. Like, I'm trying to pick the right words to say. I don't need them to apologize to us, maybe to him, but they need to have a really specific reason why they said what they said, because I'm definitely on Jerry's side on that one. Any info on the Chitty CFS? I ask them probably once a month, and I always get a reply like they're still working on it. So I'm not sure. Hopefully I'll be one of the people that gets it at some point. K2 Plus is also 350. Don't you know if you named it? I don't think I named it. Does it do 350 as well? I thought we were limited. I guess we're not limited. Can the K2 Plus go that hot for real? Whoops. What the heck? Come on, Creality. Something on there about it. Actively change. Yeah, the heated chamber is fantastic, and I have been using that actually. Okay, all right, got it. Yep, cool. That's an extruder, master of material. This should be here somewhere, right? Nope. Okay, got that. Got that. Strain gauge, yep, everything's cool. Very high flow. Got it. Clog free. Clog free. That was a really cool effect in that video. That is a top-notch video edit, cut, animation, gorgeous editing. Wow. Beautiful. Here we go. Heated chamber to 60. Okay. Yeah, 350. Wow. I don't know how I missed that. Do they advertise PPS? No. Why PET? PETs should be pretty easy to print. Okay, cool. So we can print this stuff on a lot of machines, but it doesn't quite matter because I have just one 3 kilogram spool. Like, I don't have 3 kilograms spools. I have a 3 kilogram spool, if that makes sense. I own, there he is. What's up, B-Cuddy? I own the X Plus 3. Nice. I met him at TCT. Who? I missed your other thing. Wicked Smart. I'm trying to scroll. No, I didn't catch who you guys were talking about. I got invited to TCT in China, but I obviously can't make that right now. Hey, Knox. By the way, I answered your question earlier, but I didn't say hi, so hello. I'm just scrolling back through. Trust no one. Steven Machado. Hey, Timor. What happened? Right? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, so let's see if this thing loaded up. What is going on? We're making some changes. We're making some changes the way we manage cloud data. Your project's gonna be moved to Fusion Team. Okay, depending on your existing setup, you could be asked to make selections during this process. Oh, God. GSRP is an email provider available. What is going on? It's a corporate mail. Okay. Why does which email I use for Fusion have anything to do with how I use this account? Team hub, your project is transferred to that hub. Okay. All right, we're loading again. All right. Okay, so my projects are all being moved somewhere. And now there's another update. I'm going to update later and see if I can pull this file in now instead of waiting. All right, yep, I can. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's move this thing over to this screen. There we go. Let's do this. All right. So here's my Fusion file. And I'm going to try to edit this how I want it to be, and it's going to be pretty tough. I also could just cut it right there. I mean, I could. It's not quite the same, but we could just cut it and print one and see what that's like. It'll print long ways, which is plenty strong. Flat would be the best, but this way would work as well. And the square would be there. That's okay. That might work. That might work. Flash was a pinnacle in web technology. The internet has only gotten worse since it was abandoned. Wow. All right, Joseph, that's a statement. If I mailed you my 3DS, not the newer model, would you be able to add Bluetooth audio and maybe RGB buttons? Quinman, I have zero experience with the 3DS. I've never done anything to it. I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing it, so I can't confidently be like, yeah, I've done it a bunch, you know. I've never added Bluetooth to any of these, and as far as I know, you can't add Bluetooth to a DS Lite. I'm sure you can add it to the newer models, but I have no experience with it with the 3DS. I used to have one, like when it first came out, back when it was first called the new 3DS or something like that. But I sold it since then. I haven't had it ever since. Kind of went back to the old school. Hey, Lauren. So far, I have just printed a few things with it just to get it moving. I tensioned everything, the belts, and now I'm just waiting for the filament to come in tomorrow to be able to print these sides, and then we'll probably do a video on the upgrade and how it did and the experience and all that. So, you know, I'll have to do all the charts, and I also have to do what's it called, route the CFS firmware so that I can get to installing better calibration stuff. So thinking about your design, give me a moment. Sure, yeah. Flash was full of security holes. Flash was wild. More than security holes, like, you know, the computers of the time and the internet of the time couldn't handle Flash anyway. Yeah, it also loaded apps without you knowing the things that it did. there was definitely some problems with Flash. But some of my first design stuff was flash oriented. So yeah, sorry, Quinn. I know it's a little disappointing. But yeah, so the reason why, Brian, the reason why this has to be slightly offset like this, is because if it's not like this, it won't fit in there. Like the sizes, sizes for man, my brain cannot retain the name, and I always have to spend extra brain power to think of multiboard. So multi-board spacing is different than IKEA spacing, IKEA Kallax spacing. So when I was doing my measuring, this is essentially the corner, which means I put it in like this, which means this spacing is how it goes. I think that's what I did, right? It goes sideways. Let me take one out over here. No, it goes upwards. There you go. I don't even remember. Yeah, let's see. Let me take that out and see how I did this. Yeah, okay. So you point it to the corner. This is the upper left corner. And when you do that, this is the top. So essentially, what you would do is if this is the corner of the Kallax, you put this here. This thing's pointing upward. You use a nail to put it in. So basically, that offset spacing is super necessary. But look at that. It broke me just putting in. So there you go. That's the issue. This is the issue with them. Man, what a bummer that is. Well, there you go. I need to keep one for the video. I'll put this other one in. This one might even be older and wrong. Yeah, this has to go this way. Yeah, this one's wrong. Wonder why. This one is not mirrored. This specifically is not mirrored correctly. So the one I broke was actually important. That's all right. It is what it is. But that's the problem. You see it right here. This was my worry, is they break so easily because of the layer lines. I want to find a way to print this sideways. And I think I could just cut this and have it print like this. I don't think that will matter much. And we can actually print that pretty quickly and test it. Let's try it. Let's try it and whoops, let's just see what this does. So this is the upper side. Why is this triangle here? What the heck? What happened? How did this get reversed like this? Oh, this is the one for the right side. Okay. Now I'm right. They have to be flipped. So this is the one that goes on the right side, which is actually slightly worse. But no, I guess we can just cut this side off and have this here anyway. It's not really going to affect this. Yeah, okay. So let me try it, and we can always undo. So man, I hate it when it does that. I don't know how to fix it. I hate chasing this thing around. There it goes. I know it's just a matter of bad setup and whatnot. All right, let me just double check. So yeah, we have to lob off this right side. So here, let me pin that. And we'll just do, I guess I could have done a box. Would have been easier. So let's do this. Oops. Let's go from here down. Keep in mind, guys, I know there's probably a million better ways to do all this stuff. I'm just doing my best with the software. I'm like Just not the best with this stuff, that's for sure. And look, you can see some kind of issues down there. All right, let's cut this. Let's fix whatever's going on inside of here. Like, why is this happening? So I would just take this and join it to fill that in. Okay. And what is going on in there and why? Why? Why is this happening? All right, let's... I can't pick that. Weird. Why can't I pick that? What the heck? Why can't I pick those things? What? All right, so I would do this in a really not correct way. This is not how you should be doing this, but here's how I would fix this. I would go over here. Oh, look at that. I see another little problem. And I'm just going to make a rectangle right here that covers it. We'll go sketch and take it all the way over here and join it. There we go. That's what I would do. All right, so this would make things much stronger, and I don't think this will play too much of a role. So we'll try that. Feder, I've learned to use heavy-duty snaps with the smaller snap fit octagon shape things. Yeah. Yep. Feder, looks like you're using offsets instead of the snaps. Try the snaps. Yes, I am specifically using offsets, but there's a reason. So the reason is I want to be able to mount this onto the wall and then quite literally put this thing on it like this really easily so that you can remove it if you wanted, the whole thing. And then from this side to kind of lock it in, I would put in the other snap from this side like that. And then, which I don't have any printed, and then the middle thread to lock them both together. I find that to be like the most secure way. I could be wrong, obviously. I'm not saying I know what I'm doing. Whoops. But it does seem like that's... It does seem like that's the way that it would be nice to have. That way you can remove it and service it and whatnot. You send me the F3D file for that part? Mess with it a bit? Yeah, sure. You're gonna pull your hair out looking at my history in here, because like I said, like I am one of the reasons why I made tutorials in Tinkercad was because one of the softwares that I really enjoyed using was Sparks Mechanical, and it's like a direct editing software. It's not it doesn't have like a history thing like this, and for some reason my designer brain can really like grasp direct editing, but I can't grasp for whatever reason. I have a really hard time grasping this. All right, so let me just for right now, whoops, let's save it too. Let's export this as a 3MF. Let's put it to desktop. Export complete. All right, let's open Bamboo Studio. Looks like there's an update to the Bamboo Studio. Now we're downloading an update. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. DM it to me in Discord. All right, give me a sec. Let me start the sprint and then I'll send it. Replace. All right, we have the latest Bamboo Studio. Bam, bam, Bamboo Studio. Yes, I want to open it. Of course, opening on the other screen. There we go. All right. Okay. New configuration available. Okay. All right. Prepare. Okay. Let's get that file in there. Where is it? In my downloads? Where'd it go? No, desktop, right? Yep, to my desktop. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. We're gonna lay this puppy flat on this, just like that. I think this will solve all of my problems with strength. All right, let's go 4 and 20. We'll do 4, 4. And this can print without support. Yeah, this would be much stronger. All right, let's do that. No, we don't need filament saving. Although it doesn't matter. I think. Yep, it's in there. Yep, it's in there. It's not in 1 though. It's in slot 3. All right, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, there you go, slot 3. Okay. Yep, sure. Yep, do all the things. 22 minutes. Nozzle offset calibration. Whatever. I want it to be a good print. Let's just do it. Oh, sorry guys. The whole view. I should have done this one. My bad. My bad, everybody. I didn't even realize it this entire time. All right, that thing did a song and dance, and looks like that thing has an update too. Oh well. Let's minimize. Okay, let me get you this file. Export as an F3D. Let's go to desktop. All right, Brian, shoot me a message so I can send it to you quickly on Discord. We can do it in the... Yeah, just shoot me a DM real quick. And I'll send you the file. Please and thank you. All right. Send it here. Sure, got it. There you go. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I'll just, you know, if I had more time to just really sit down and think about it, how it works, it would be great, but I don't. I do think there's still something over here. What the heck? Why is this here again? Oh, it just doesn't show the latest. Right? What? Huh? Why is that a thing? What in the world? All right, hold up. This should have gone to there. There we go. There we go. I'm not sure why. So that'll be messed up in the file I just sent you, just so you know. There are little weird things in the model sometimes. Yeah, there are. You know, because I'm like joining things together. Like there's a weird thing over here that I never fixed. I'm like joining stuff together and manipulating things that shouldn't be done. And then I also like I have a very vague understanding of this application and how and why it works. Like I actually to start most designs, I technically go to Tinkercad first, and I kind of like lay out the general idea, and then in Tinkercad I export directly to Fusion, and then when you bring it into Fusion, you can fully manipulate it, which is really convenient for me because Tinkercad is how my brain works. And then I can kind of like finish it and make it real in Fusion, if that makes sense. So most of my designs are done like that. What he said. Yeah, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. One sec, guys. I got distracted with Discord here. Chance to review the above. Yeah, I would. I was just messaging Eufymake. I don't know if you guys know anybody from Eufymake that can point me in the right direction, but their UV machine is amazing, and I've been just trying to get in contact with them in some way, shape, or form. Hi, Daisy. I just accepted your request. I left a void in the model unintentionally. I was shocked when I printed it. I thought the slicer would be freaking out and pulled the model back up. I spent a ton of time in Fusion, now learning Onshape as well. Interesting. I've thought about trying Onshape. I've actually thought about like buying an iPad Pro and using what's the one that's really good on there? Shape 3D maybe? Or there's another one. It's somewhat a mix of direct modeling and also what Fusion does. I think that might be better for me, like to do it, if that makes sense. Almost like sculpting, I guess. So, but yeah, all right. So that's printing, or starting to print. So that'll be exciting to see if this works. Because if this works with the current situation, I'll be really happy. And then Brian, Shaper 3D. Thanks, Nate. Onshape works pretty well on iPad. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an iPad, so that's kind of a problem. Like, it would require another pretty expensive device to be able to use. The manipulation, right? Like, yeah, just having, yeah, right. That's because that's the thing with Tinkercad. That's why I'm like my brain works in that way. You like have a piece and you like take a chunk out or add a chunk, right? And then if Tinkercad had, chamfers and fillets, it would be. I would pretty much use it for everything. I would pretty much use it for everything, especially now that they have the pen tool and that they have the rulers in there. You can really, really make anything that you really want in there. I mean, for years and years, I've made really advanced things in Tinkercad for no reason, like to my own detriment. Yeah, if they just add those things. I use Tinkercad on my iPad Pro. You can use Tinkercad? I guess you can. Huh. Supposedly it works on Android tablets too, but haven't tried it. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I definitely would have a much better use case, me personally, for an Android device like that, because I could use it for some other things that I also do. So it would be way more of a better excuse to get a powerful Android tablet over an iPad tablet. Although an iPad tablet would be an amazing tool, so would an Android tablet. Especially I can get hacky with it, you know? I'll post a pic in a chat about anything just so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, hold on, let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the little LEDs. They are burnt out. Are they? Or is just not lit? Fourth one on the left is burnt out? Yeah. Dark. It's a bummer. That's really tiny. Shaper 3D is $300 a year for the Pro version. Yikes. Oh, that's an eye-opener right there. It's a year too, Nate. It's not like $299 and you own it. It's $299 a year? Sorry, I'm yelling. I just saw in the corner of my eye, it was like in the red peeking. Man. Hey, Stephen Poole, how you doing? Oof. I don't like that. I don't like that. All right, while this is going down, I'm actually gonna quit Fusion just to keep the resources on the PC, on the Mac here, reasonable. This Mac, where are we at now? Where are we at now? It's a 2021. It's already 4 years old, which is really surprising because I feel like I just got this like the other day. By the way, for those just joining, we do have a filament giveaway by Polymaker. There's 52 folks signed up, so still pretty good chances to win. If you're going to stick around 84 more minutes and you're anywhere in the world, you have to be present, but just answer the question, hop in here, and we'll get on it. Yeah, that's too much, man. Or is it? Like, if it's an amazing piece of software that lets you do whatever you want, that $300 is nothing in that case. And I guess you can try basic and see how it really feels. So maybe I shouldn't be so surprised or knock it before trying it, you know? Tinker hack. It is hacking things together. It's true. But that's actually Tinkercad got me into Design Spark Mechanical, and Design Spark was free, and the only real thing that it didn't really have was Mirror. And then they made a paid version and got rid of things and stripped it down, and I didn't boycott it, but I kind of quit. Design Spark Mechanical. I made so many things in it. Most of my earlier designs were made here. One of the other big downsides is there's no Mac version. Obviously, I can fully run it through Parallels with no issues. I've done it before. But like opening Parallels, going into Windows, using it there, it gets annoying. So that's a bit of a bummer. I wish they had even planned on it, But yeah, it's Windows only. I bet I would still be using it, actually. So 300 a year. Laughs in Adobe. That's right, Tech. Yeah, that's right. You're 100% right. I've been paying $500 a year for Fusion, but can't afford it, so I'm moving to Onshape for many things. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Fusion is very vast as well. Like, it does quite a bit of stuff. So if you professionally use it, $500 is not much, I like it. It has Mirror now. It does? They added Mirror back in? Look at that. Stinkercad. Hey, Pezliz, thank you for that bit. I actually don't know what bits do or are, but I know they exist, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, this one, lower resolution exports in BASIC. That's a big downside. Oh yeah. That's a killer. That's literally killer of the BASIC version if it's lower res. Hey, BWS. Like, whoops, sorry. I too don't like this. I would much rather pay one large sum to just own it. And I've been like that for a while. I would definitely pay if it wasn't a subscription. There's something about the subscription that just rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, I agree. That's how I use it too. Yep, SolidWorks. I've tried it. SolidWorks. Actually, my buddy's really crazy good at SolidWorks. But it is pricey. It is literally a professional, you know, it's like meant for you to work from. So. Bill Fast uses Shaper 3D to design all of his aircraft. I believe that, Brian. I believe that. I know a lot of people use Shaper 3D, actually. What if you pay once but don't get updates? I'm also okay with that. I would pay, again, hopefully a significantly smaller fee for updates. Because one, that's incentive for the company to continue updating and making real improvements. But two, because if you don't want it anymore, you still own it up to that point. And that's really important. Like, that's how cars are. That's how, like, homes are. It's how physical things are. It's way more relatable to be that way. I know it's software and all that, but in order for you, if you buy it and then you own it, and if the company makes something new, they charge you for the upgrade or the update, that makes a lot more sense. It's almost natural. Whereas if I'm paying a subscription, none of it feels like it's mine. I feel like I'm borrowing someone else's underwear. Like, it's weird. I don't like it. I don't like subscription services that way. Everything's subscription. Yeah, my breakfast. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Didn't BMW release a performance vehicle where the performance version of the suspension that's on the car has to be unlocked through a subscription service? Like, come on. Yep, SaaS. Yep. Yeah, you don't own your software is an issue. It's a big issue. That's how cars used to be, right? Yeah, like renting works in some situations. Like in some situations, even renting would be better than owning. But in most cases, if you could own it, even if you're like loaning it from the bank because you still have to get a loan, like if it's a big enough purchase, even if you own it, you still have like equity in it, which means when you're done or it's done or you want to change something, you don't just like stop renting and you back to zero. You like, you know, sell, get rid of, or you're just stuck in the past and whatever it is. Like, that's way more relatable in my opinion. Pay for the heated seats. Yeah, I think it was like some seatbelt related thing or yeah, something. But I know suspension was one too. Yeah, no, they do. That's how it works. That's how it works. Key fob to unlock your car. Ugh, yeah, I don't like that. I just don't like that. I want to buy it. I want to own it. Maybe that part is old, like in the old school in me, but I definitely would rather have that. So. Pezliz, I know you're constantly doing cool projects. Do you have anything fun going on? I actually just received our friend's filament, actually. Let me show this. Here, let's stand back up for a little bit. Let's do this. Our buddy Hedgehog makes Badow. Beautiful, beautiful. One of the best looking reds, to be honest. Like, I have a bunch of red. Like, I have red printed things all over the place. This red has that tiny little bit of sparkle in it, which really just elevates it to the next level. And also, the color is rich. Like, it's not burgundy. It's just like red. Like I print a lot in Creality Red. I have many spools. Actually, there's like 4 spools behind this sleep token mask. And that's almost like highlighter red. But this is like a deep red. Really cool. Would be really fun on a bunch of projects. But yeah, I'm really excited for this filament. I have 2 of them. I left one at my office to print there, and I brought one home. So a cool way to support everybody. Polymaker, who does a lot for the community. Obviously makers like, oh, it doesn't have his front. Obviously makers like Hedgehog makes himself. And you know, on top of that, gets you a pretty cool filament. So I have my records and retro computers running MS-DOS. Nice, Mark. That's some nostalgia right there. Yeah, I agree. So we have that. I have, let's see what other filament we got. We got a bunch by Conjure, which is Chitu. Actually, let's showcase this stuff because this filament is really cool. You guys know, I've been using the Conjure stuff for a while. Are we done already? Oh, that thing's done. Check this out. All right, we're on this camera. Check this out. Beautiful. It's almost like a metallic blue, but there's undertones of purple in some angles. Why can't I get purple to show up? I can see it with my eyes. Interesting. So in person, some of the angles are purple, but I can't get it to show on camera. This is beautiful. It's like a deep blue. So Chitu really doing a whole bunch of stuff with filament. Their dryer is great. I use it at my office now. And I have this also. This is the same purple hueish thing, but is more green. Wow, they look so similar. That one's blue. This one's green, like ocean green, but also purple, which doesn't show up on camera. That's interesting. Why? What the heck? Yeah, like in some light, it's purple. I don't know. That's some kind of voodoo magic. Anyway, that's some beautiful filament. Yeah, beautiful. What else? Oh, I have Soraya Tech. They sent me some TPU. 64D. Choo! So this should be fun. Oh, right, up here. This stuff should be fun. I'm going to print some more shoes with this stuff. It actually requires some good heat. It says the temperature is 240, 265. Keep dry, very important. Yeah, so this should be interesting. Flex TPU by Soraya Tech. Definitely got to give that a try. And then a whole bunch of HTPLA by Polymaker that I haven't gotten to, that I need to. What else we got? Someone else sent me something too. Oh, it's more Conjure. Right. This is like the rainbow stuff. Oh, this is still sealed. Let's see which one we got. Chitu Systems, Conjure, Tricolor Silk PLA. This one is purple, orange, sky blue. And then there's another one. This one is green, gold, and orange. So they definitely have a whole bunch of this crazy color changing stuff that's really great. They're definitely stepped up their game big time, in my opinion. As in Chitu Systems did. And yeah, next time I print some fun stuff, I'll have to use some of this stuff. So what I typically do is print like big flexi dragons and all sorts of stuff, and I keep them off to the side. And sometimes people visit the studio and come by, and you give them a little takeaway and take something back, and they all love it. And recently, very recently, I just stopped doing it. Like I stopped printing, and I have nothing down here. So I had a few people come by, well, this past weekend. I didn't have anything to like give them, which I'm like pretty used to. So like when you leave, if you don't know much about 3D printing and you come down here, and you're like, what is going on down here? It's like overwhelming, and then you get to take something home. You're kind of like blown away. So I need to do that again. So that's what I get all this filament for, is to just use it printing printing little things that maybe to us get boring, but to people that don't do this very often, will be significantly more impressed by, you know? Shoes. Yeah, shoes. I printed these TPU Crocs. I stepped in gum instantaneously, but yeah, I've been wearing them. They're fantastic. I do have some modifications to make. I made these 4-wheel drive. Can you guys not see that? I got to make this in multicolor. These have 4-wheel drive on them, so you can put them in 4-wheel drive. Here, I'll put them on. But they bend kind of funky. So I have to redesign them with some ridges so that they don't bend funky. But yeah, fantastic. You know, I've been wearing them. Yeah. So when you see me out in public and I'm wearing these things and I have this QR shirt. Hello, weirdo. So, posted a link to his filaments in my description. There's a link to Polymaker. You can't miss it. It's creator spools. $64 like what? Spaghetti noodles? Yes. That's a cool gesture. You know, I think you're talking about the me printing stuff all the time just to have a box full of stuff. So what we do is once a year, closer to Thanksgiving, actually Zumi in the chat here, she's a moderator on our Discord, we run a Toys for Tots campaign where we print as many toys as we can for kids, usually in the thousands of toys we end up doing every single year, with some cool giveaways from filament sponsors as well. So I'll have more details on that a little later, but if you guys want to jump into the Discord, there's some information about that as well. So yeah, we just print a bunch of things, and they have to be individually packed and sealed for them to be taken. But yeah, there's a lot of information on it on our Discord if you guys want to jump into that. Just give away the Jeep or the V0. I know, Nick. I should do some bigger giveaways. I did do a huge giveaway one time. I think it was 20. I think it was when I hit 20,000 subs. I gave away a whole bunch of printers, a ton of filament. It was actually a lot of work. Like, it was a ton of work. And I definitely want to do a bigger one. But I couldn't. Between the new kid, and all the stuff that's going on at the house right now, I don't have the time to be able to pull that off. Once he gets a little bit older, I'll definitely be able to. Daisy Duck. Ah. The 64 double D. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, Zumi's been doing it this whole time. Ah. I see. It's true. It's true. Just do bigger giveaways. So you're gonna take him when you're here. All right, so let's test this out. This was kind of the whole reason, right? So it printed flat like this, no supports. That's fantastic. Okay, yeah, that's already fixed for the problem that I was having with it. Let's see how this works. Actually, the arrow is going to the right. Here, let me take another one of these for a test. So in order for this one to work, we would put this one here. So let's replace this one. Need to go side to side here to remove this. Put our little tool in. Right there. Wiggle it. Pull it. Undo. I love this little tool. Let's push this out. All right. So let's see if this works. So here's our recent one. The arrow's pointing up and to the right. We're going to snap that in. That goes in perfect. And this, we have to find the little cube, the little box, and that's going to go to the empty side. Let's see, that snaps perfect. Yeah, so we'd be able to put in a mid-locking T-nut into here to lock this dead. So let's see if this fits. If that fits, I'm really happy with that. Let's see, can you guys see? Here, let's do this. Let's see if this fits. Oh, look at this. Look. It broke. Just me being here. What an absolute bummer. I must have pushed on it funky. Yeah, they're way too weak. Way too weak before this modification. It's a complete necessity. All right, let's see. Where are all my trashed ones now? Would this one work down here? Yes. All right, let's put this one in. Lock this one in place. All right, let's see how that works. So we have our newly updated one in the top right-hand corner. Bada bing. Bada boom. Perfect. It's perfect. It works. It works. So Brian, maybe there's some way to improve it, but this is exactly what I was after this whole time. So there should be no downside of this. It's even less material, so it's even faster to print. The only downside is you do have to mirror it. / there's 2 of them. / I gotta make 4 of them so it's not confusing. But yeah, this is the goal. So essentially I would put this on there first. I would slide this all the way up. I would slide this thing all the way up and to the corner. So if this was the corner, I would put it right there. Whoops. Right there with the arrow pointing there. And then I would nail it. You know, nail it, screw it, double side tape, whatever you want. And then I would come up to this thing and click, clack. Man, that doesn't even show how I want to do it. So this thing's mounted. I come up, push on it. It clicks. Take this thing, find the box. It's on this side, left side. Click that. Screw in my T. Done. Yeah, I'm digging it. That's it. That's it. Giveaway. I'm not sure that's legal. That's funny. I hate layer adhesion. Yeah, or lack thereof. That's right. I just need to pay attention. Yep. I'll design you another one. Just finish my idea. Yeah, sure. Cool. K2 just added another biggie calyx to set up. What do you mean? He's already done something like this? God, Kevin's everywhere. Of course he has, if he has. It would totally make sense. K2 Kev. Oh, apparently this wasn't the way. Oh, here, users. Yeah. Wait. Oh, because I'm not logged in. Nope. 145 models? Lord have mercy. Kev, you are rocking this thing, man. Good for you, dude. Nice. Rugged maker trays. Look at that. That's cool. PTFE secure tube holder. Interesting. I just let mine dangle over there. Man, look at this talented dude right here. Yeesh. Layer lines need to go the length of the piece. It's going to take him out of... Yeah, right. Exactly. So This solves it. This solves that problem, which I'm very excited about. He's world famous. Hey, Ranovic, what's up? Hey, Pats. I can't wait to get his autograph. Yeah, I'll have my chest signed. Sweet. That's pretty exciting, actually. Yeah, so this one was definitely the easiest and like cleanest, but it also prints in the wrong orientation, and the fact that I can't take the board off is just not the best. But yeah, that's just click and that's in, you know? That's nice. And it's nice that it's flat. But this is way stronger. Yeah, I mean I can break it. But it won't break. The layers go the other direction. Yeah, this is it. This is what I wanted. Cool. I'm very happy with that. Yeah. So basically, it's a two-piece system to make it work, and then a locking T-nut. Actually, let's get a couple of those printed so I can put it together. Actually, these, let me throw it away before that annoys me. So that's what I want. All right, let's check it out. So let's go to multiboard.io. Threads, locking bolts. So one thing that I tried was the folding one, like one of these that prints flat. And I had so much trouble. Like, I just didn't like it at all. But it is much stronger. I just wish it folded correctly. So that's why I opted for one of these. But this is not mid-thread. Is there a mid-thread version of this? Hold on. Isn't there like a different way? So these are locking. Oh, okay. So I'm looking for something else. I'm looking for big thread. I'm looking for mid-thread. So all mid-thread. No mid-thread prints flat or anything like that. Oh, here's some. T-bolts. Oh, okay. Here we go. I just didn't scroll far enough. Here we go. This is what I want. I want one of these to lock that in place. Maybe this medium one right here. Mid-thread flat head T-bolt. This would be easier because it's huge. You would just do it with your thumb. I'm digging this one. Oh, there's sizes too. I think I need the 10 mil. Let's not guess. Let's just measure. I think it's 10 mil though. This way. It's, yep, 10 mil. All right, so I want one of these. What's the difference here? Plain head, shank T-bolt. Plain head, just T-bolt. Why is there... What's the difference here? Mid-thread, plain head, shank T-bolt. Okay. Mid-thread, plain T-bolt. I don't know. The fold ones suck. Yeah, I've had some trouble with them. Microchips are huge in Japan. Oh yeah, that's cool. Hey, Filter. Nice. Nice. All good things. Got a good workout. Now you're working on car stuff. Seems pretty good. Shanked has a non-threaded bit at the top. Oh. What's that for? Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, okay, so I don't need this one. That's what shanked means? I swear, man, English is wild. What who made these words? All right, let's do a 3MF. All right, I have to log in. I don't know my login. Here, let me pull this out. See if I can find it on here because I don't have my login saved on this browser. There we go. We're in. Did I download it already? I did. All right, let's move to my desktop. Okay, so here's what we need. Let's go back to here. Here. All right, so in order to make a package of these, I need to clone this one. And we need to mirror it along the x-axis. Yep. So there you go. So now this is the upper, lower, and then we just need both of these. Well, we just need one of each cloned for the bottom. One, clone. There we go. Okay, that's good. And then we also need, let's get the files that we just got. We need one of these. And make sure it's the correct one. It is. So these snaps I want on this side. And we need to clone 3 more of. And then additionally, I need the T-bolt, mid-thread T-bolt. There we go. That's cool. We're going to clone 3 of them. All right, let's do arrange. I hate how these things get arranged. I hate it. I don't get it. It never makes sense to me. I kind of like want to always have them together, and it never works out that way. It's always like a jumbled up mess. Hopefully this will be an under hour print. Let's see what this tells us. Under hour, hour 33. Bummer. And I kind of need them to print this way. Let's see, 20. I might be able to reduce this down, but there's not much infill on these parts. 4 walls. I mean, I want the 4 walls. 3 walls should be fine on most of this, but I want the 4 walls for strength. Let's see if we can get it down so I can do it before the stream ends. Hour 31. No, not worth it. All right, bit of a bummer. You know what? Here's what we'll do. I'll set this up to print overnight, but before we do that, let's do another one of these. And let's clone this over there. Let's clone one of these over there. And let's clone one of these over there. So this is just one set. Okay, like this. Here we go. Let's see how long a set prints. 31 minutes. All right, that's doable. A3, yep. Send. Cool. Yeah, multiboard is definitely complicated. There's no way around it. It just is. English is is for many different languages. It is, and it's still a bunch of different languages. A bunch of confusing languages. All right, cool. So I'm pretty excited, guys. That's big for me if I can get all this to work. Whoa, split one? Oh, that's just to print it sideways? Wait, what? Why would you want to do that? Wait, why would you want this dovetail? Why would you want that? Wait, what am I missing here? Why would you want... Oh, these pieces are dovetailed. And when you put the T in, you screw the T in and slide this in. Clever. That's kind of cool. I was really confused at first there. Nice. That's cool. This is actually really cool. I was a little confused there at first. Yeah, so these mid threads. What is this? Hey, look at that. That's even more useful. Maybe I should print these. Oh, but this one's shank. Is there a non-shank version of that? Yeah, right here. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Man, there is so much to this. There's so much to this. It's crazy. Hey, there he is. We were just talking about you. Yeah, Nico. It really is. To get a split part, print it faster instead of the folded version. K2, man, we were just looking at your files. There you have a Maker World. Kev, man, you got a ridiculous catalog, man. Like, for real, congratulations. Like, I'm not, I joke around a lot. But man, I didn't realize just how deep, and that's just on this platform. Dude. Heck yeah, man. Am I not logged in again? I'm not logged in. Don't worry, I follow you for real. Sick. This would be cool in a TPU. Ah, it's a whole printed. Wait, the slot's in there. Okay. So just to hold it, because I do have, mine just dangles in there. The extra one for the TPU. So that's. Come on, man. Great idea. I need to make a maker chip. I think I've said that maybe every single stream. Tray toppers. Ah, put your little candies up there. I know what this is. That's great. Pro streamer setup, of course. I've seen this thing. Seen this. Seen your tools. Obviously the maker chip. I have this. I have one of these. It's beautiful. Tools are all a great idea. Multiboard, multi-boom. What do you mean? Ah. Uh-huh. So it's a witty addition. I agree. Super witty. Okay, I see. I see what you're doing. Flexi peeps. Come on, man. Would you like unlock the other half of your brain or something? What are you doing? I go deep. That should be First of all, thanks, comma, I go deep. Could be a fantastic shirt. Just saying. Yeah, man. Print that sucker in ABS or similar. They can hold some temperature. Done. Hey, Retro. How you doing, man? The test disc is something I print all the time. I fell hard as a child. You know what's interesting? Interesting fun fact about me is when I was 7, I had severe hematoma from falling directly on my head, enough to where my whole family had to switch countries, and that's how I ended up in America. I had to get surgery on my brain. So I fell hard as a child is very relatable. I probably had more concussions than some football players. Good shirt. Zoom and see? Thanks. I go deep. You know, we're just chilling, Retro. We're just chilling. When we have no tasks and some drinks, you know? It is what it is. I can't wait to see you get into multi-bin. You know, I want to, because like I said, one of my goals before is to be able to hang a certain bin setup so that I can have like my soldering iron in there, and that can be like a standalone thing that I can like take somewhere and carry. I would love to like, you know, walk it up and put it on the wall, that type of deal. That type deal. So you're the kid that rode the short bus and wore the helmet all the time? No, but close. I was just, you know, always doing some kind of, not stunts, but close enough. Shirt bus. That's right. Speaking of shirts, check out my super cool shirts at 3dprintsos.com or do it. Huh? Hey, Cedric, what's happening, man? How are you? Nope. Nope, I went right over it. Yep. That's it. it's my OF page. That's right. Support your fellow creators. Anyway, all right, so we have this printing. You know, thank you guys for sitting through that. I'm so excited to be able to do that. So we'll close this. I'll keep that open just to have it. But yeah, that was it. This was the solution. Essentially, cut off a piece right here so that this prints flat. That makes this really strong, and should be able to hold the weight, especially because you're gonna have 4 of them. And then the little piece that you got to know is this, the box that you usually have to go to the other box. You always just have to go to where there's nothing there, and that will still click. And then when you thread the mid thread in there that's printing right now, that should lock this in place. I'm a big fan of that. I like the two pieces, and I like the locking. I think that's cool. The same concept as when you lock these together using this, the front, and these T-bolts. Same idea. So, really cool stuff. You guys think I have enough of these? How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 of these 350 by 350 millimeter multi-board tiles. Just caught an insane deal of the century on Marketplace. 10 Vorons for $400 each. Got a fixed 3, but they're a year old. And downside is they are shorties, like 150, 200 tall, but all LDO kits. Wow. Okay, interesting. What kind of Vorons? Like 2.4s? Seems like if they're 150 tall, 200 tall, they're really specific built machines for somebody's farm. That's interesting. Someone had 10 of them? Yeah, 400 each is that's cheaper than a kit. In line at Best Buy to buy Switch 2. I should have gotten here earlier. Man, did it finally come out? I know about it obviously, and I have a really modded really modded Switch 1. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in the Switch 2. I need to cop that at some point. Nice. Trying to build a little print farm. Nice. That's cool, Nico. How do you set up a slicer to print a bunch of the boards on top of each other? Ah, there it is. That's why we did this stream, right? Releases at midnight. Oh man, that's cool. I didn't even know. And you got there at 11:21. I bet there's a bunch of people, Cedric. Nice, nice. All right, Lamberth, I'm gonna answer your question here. So stack prints. Here, we'll do it in here. You know what? Not to mess with this, I'll do a new window. Let's minimize. So, in order to actually, I've never done it in Bamboo Studio. I've done it in Creality Print. So let's do it here. Let me find the file. So, no, not that one. That's too big. Did I throw the file away? Hold on, let me get it from the trash. Where is the file? I had a 7x7. All right, let's just grab it from the internet. So we need to go to let's go to multi-board tiles. I like the border tiles myself. Let's go these. We need 7x7s. Actually, this right here. So this is the one that I get, and the reason for this is because if you print 4 of these and put them together, it makes one larger one, because this has 2 edges. So you put another one here, rotate it down, another one there, another one there. You can join these together and have them. So here, we'll download the 3MF file. Let's open Bamboo Studio back up. And let's throw it in there. I downloaded it to here. Boom. All right, so the trick here is to have each one of these things stacked above with a 0.2 millimeter gap. So right here, if I clicked on it and I go to the size here is, it looks like it's a little bit more, but it's 6.2 millimeters. So the next one up should be at 6.4 millimeters. So there's a couple ways to do it. One, we're going to clone it. It puts one on here. Right now, if I go try to lift this, it's always going to drop. And there's other ways to do it, but the way that I do it is I click on both of these things like this, right click, and we do, in this case, merge. Sometimes I'll say assemble. So then we have these together now. Now when we click into one, find it, this one, now we can move these individually and they're a part of an assembly. So I can tell it to be 6.4 millimeters up. And now it's 6.4 millimeters up with a 2.2 millimeter gap in between. And what I can do is right click, well, go into one, right click, and where's center? Is it just like this? No, hold on. Like I said, I've only done this in Creality Print, so actually this is gonna be a fun thing to figure out. Here we go, center. And okay, the other one is already centered. All right, so there you go. They should be stacked on top of each other. So you would do this more. So right now, this is at 12.6. That means the next one of these stacks should be at 12.8. So what I would do is I clone this again. Do the same thing. We're going to select them both and do merge. I'm then going to go to the second one. I'll select them both. We'll go up. And this needs to be at 12.8, right? Or 12.6? What was it? I'll tell you what right now in a second. Hold on, let's click out. Let's go to this one. Where's the size? Oh, now I don't remember. I think that's right, though. I think that's right. We'll be able to tell in a second. So let's go back to here. Do center. Back to here. Center. There we go. Yeah, okay. So now we have a small... Oh, man, I'm on the wrong screen, guys. Man, my bad. Hopefully what I've said at least works. So here we go. So now we have a stack of these things with a 0.2 millimeter gap underneath. And the next step is we need to turn ironing on. So that'll be interesting. I don't know how to do that here. So let's see. Let's search. Iron. Okay, that was easy. So we go to ironing right here, and we turn it on to top surfaces, and that's it. So essentially what this is going to do is, here, when we slice, we'll just do it later. Let me zoom in, make this a little larger. Yep, that'll work too. Yep, you can do multi-material. Although not everyone has multi-material, and that's why I did it this way, is because you can do it a single. Why does this take so long? It never takes this long. The Packer Maker World has a stack in them. A problem was ironing worked great, but the layer above didn't stick well enough. They printed it worked, but I had to clean a lot. Yeah, so in that case, you would have to shorten that gap. You're lagging a bunch? Uh-oh. I'll have to wait out. This might be just resource hogging. There we go. All right, so here's what I wanted to show. So essentially what this thing will do, yeah, it is retro, it is. So what this thing is going to do is it's going to print one hole, and then it's actually going to go back in, and without filament, it's going to iron out the top to make it as smooth as it can. Then it's going to move up 0.2 millimeters, and it's going to start the next one. And yeah, the backs of them, like you guys might have seen in my short, these are the fronts. They look how you would expect. They look like top layers on a machine. The back doesn't look the prettiest, but you never see the back. It has zero effect whatsoever. And it's only the one layer because, you know, it kind of prints in the air a bit. But yeah, they're easy to take apart. It only takes a few minutes. And if you want to print this big of a tile on a much smaller machine, like you could print this on a... Can you? Am I lying? Nope, it'll fit. So you can... no, it won't. You would have to do a 6x6 on a A1 Mini. So you can print this on a regular size printer. Whereas this 350 by 350 is going to be pretty difficult to print. Too much power. Yeah. Slicing takes CPU down. Time for M4 Mac. You know, at some point. I am starting to notice it a bit with 6K footage. That's for sure. So yeah, that's how you do stacked printing, at least for this. And then obviously, depending on how your machine is set up, you would kind of tweak it from there and go. And yeah, it works. I tested it. First time I tried it ever, and it was fantastic. Bamboozled. All right, so the one thing that I did also want to try to check out. Can you print a thin layer of supports between layers? Maybe. It'd be a pretty big mess, I think, if you did that. I think it would be a pretty big mess. Yeah, if you have an AMS, well, because the AMS would not let you do. An AMS would not let you do PETG and PLA, which is what you'd want. You'd have to have a multi-tool head machine or a multi-print head machine, or something like, well, the H2D is those things. So yeah, it's pretty much, if you want to do this, you're pretty much doing it just like I just explained. So didn't have any luck, kept warping. Interesting, Cedric. So that's the opposite. If they were peeling away, then you want to lower that gap, the 0.2 millimeter gap. Hey, Tweety. Thank you. I appreciate that. AMS does it just fine. Wait. Hold on. Hold. AMS will let you go from PLA to PETG? Yeah. So these flat ones, so the benefit of the flat ones is they have these pockets. So you can put the little pins that they have there, those simple pins. So if you had multiple ones that want to click together, they literally just like click together, which is really nice. And I might modify some to be like 2 millimeters longer for this, because the calyx is just like a millimeter off. So you couldn't just do the regular ones. You couldn't snap them together. Really, Brian? It's not that I don't believe you. I just clearly remember trying this on several occasions. And Bamboo Studio was like, nah, you ain't doing this. I've done it. Interesting. You can color single layer with PETG in the slicer. Really? Okay. I thought it was like a clogging issue with switching filaments. See, sometimes I'm misinformed. Yeah, maybe. I remember specifically trying it. And it was like, nah, bro. What's a good support layer material for ASA and ABS? It's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that, to be honest. Yeah, right. Yeah, I get that. Just increase the purge. Ah. Interesting. Hey, Da Vinci, how you doing? Long time no see. Learn something new every day. Yeah, no, seriously. Seriously, every day. It's wild that I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm sure some of you have been doing it even longer than me. But it's just crazy that there's still so much, and it's growing in every direction possible. It's really amazing. I tried having new Gemini AI create a couple devices. A can crusher in the device that notifies you when the mailbox is open. They gave detailed instructions and even wrote code for an Arduino. Scary. I somewhat recently, it's not recently, but I somewhat recently tried to tried to have not Gemini. I've never tried it yet. But I tried ChatGPT, I guess a few months ago. Tried to have it write some software to display some things on a screen. I told it the wiring. I told it all the hardware specs that I had, and it just could not do it. I spent an entire night like sitting there and trying to figure it out, and I just couldn't get it to work. I was totally bummed. Interesting. Hey, Swamper, what's happening? Yeah, steak and potatoes. Totally. You know, Claude for something like that? Use PLA. Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried mixing materials like that. Probably because the one time I tried, it was like, nope. And I was like, oh, I don't have machines that can do it. Up until the H2D. Nice. That's nice, you, Da Vinci. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Yeah, you set up your own, like, rule for the sizing. Heck yeah, Zoomy. Oh, we're done back there. I heard some, beepity boop boop boop. Let's go get it. All right, so this should be fun. Super hot still. But it's PLA. We can get it off of there. Bang. We never did get to the Death Racers, huh? That's okay. I'm looking forward to getting some HTPLA and printing tiles that'll go in my shop, and I'll work from the heat and some. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I have some of that to try as well. All right, so here are the 3 pieces that should technically work for this. And now we have the strong tile. All right, so this is what you need per corner. So let's give this thing a test. Here, let me move all these tiles out of the way. By the way, everybody, the people that are just joining and people that are hanging out, Polymaker sponsors my live streams. See that? Right there. Right there. And what they do is they hook us up with some filament to give away. So there is a pinned comment at the top of the YouTube stream chat and on Twitch as well. So check out those pinned comments. You can jump into one of these. If you guys are going to be sticking around for 20 more minutes, I'll be giving away some filament to one lucky winner. We have 68 entries. Not that bad. Still got pretty darn good chances to win. So if you're going to stick around till the end of the stream, jump on in there and get yourself some filament. Most of the time, you might even be able to snag more than one. You get a credit onto your account, so you're able to add on if you want to buy more stuff, whatever it might be. Pretty cool stuff. So just as a reminder, there's 20 minutes left. 21, but you get the idea. Be right back. Yeah, no problem. Love that PPS CF. Yeah, man, I got a $300 spool. I got a 3 kilogram spool that's drying right here. I just set it on a 12-hour drying spree. Hopefully tomorrow I'll start printing some of that for the Death Racer. So, yep, it's definitely not the cheapest filament around, but there's a reason for that. They're fantastic. All right, so let's see if these things worked. Here, let me get you just a little bit closer. All right, so we have our arrow here, which means this one in particular is either the top right-hand corner or the bottom left-hand corner. So let's do the top right-hand corner. So I'm going to put this thing in. So if this was mounted already to the calyx, I would just push this on. Let's see. Ooh, nice satisfying click there. See a little arrow. Then we get from this side, we look for the little box. There's a box on this side. On here, we look for the one where there's no part printed there. And we click this in from this side. Oh, yeah. Nice satisfying click. So this is already heavily locked in place. However, we now have this mid-sized T-nut, and we should be able to lock this in on a diagonal. So the reason why I say that is because this thing is split into two pieces. And if you look at the threads, 2 of them straight are on this side, 2 of them straight are on this side. So what I want to do is have this thing diagonal, and that will lock them in place right there. It locks it in. Come on. Wait. Nope, this way. Bam. So here's what we end up with on this side. Something you could easily unscrew. In fact, if we go, I think, left and right on this thing. Right? Is it left and right? Or up and down? Let's see. Left and right. So if we go screw this in, go left and right, we should be able to pop this one out. Now it looks like the tool is going to be the job for that. So use the tool. There we go. Wiggle this thing. Man, the tolerances on this particular printer came out to be fantastic. There we go. So you wiggle that off. And now, if this thing was mounted to the wall, right here, you would just push this thing off. So you'll be able to take off your entire setup if you wanted to, swap it out, modify it, and keep these things mounted. Awesome. I'm gonna have to make a video on this and kind of talk about it a little bit more with some better camera angles here. But snap, snap, spin, spin, spin until diagonal, and now those 2 are locked in place. This thing ain't going nowhere. That's awesome. I'm pretty happy with that. I know it's a little thing, but that can hold some weight. I can mount a bunch of these. I can either use double-side tape if I'm not going to hold much weight, or use just some small screws, some self-tappers, and we are game. Nice. I'm happy that we at least got to make something in the stream, and it actually worked out. So I have a whole bunch of designs here that are just kind of, well, they're a failure. There's no other way to put it. But this definitely gives me something to do, something to think about. Awesome. I have a lot of printing to do before this video. And yeah, I'm probably going to start either tomorrow or after tomorrow. So let's see. If I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 of those. Let's see. So it was 30 minutes for one, right? So that's That's 2 hours. That's 2 hours for one. Lordy. This is going to be a long print. I'm going to just do a whole board, a whole thing. It's going to be like a 24-hour print. Fun. Baller. I appreciate that, Nate. Thank you. Am I going to... no, I'm not going to Murph. No, I can't. I can't pull it. If you guys remember, I was all about it, but that was pre-second child. Now that I have a second kid, I can't really pull going on any of these things for a little while. Maybe one day. I will be at 3D Printopia because it's next, literally next door. What is that wall system called? This one is called Multiboard. And this one's called Honeycomb. And I'm moving from Honeycomb wall to Multiboard. So this whole stream I was kind of just talking about all the reasons to go in one way or another, but Multiboard just has way too many advancements. So yeah, Multiboard. Thank you. I'm like behind on the chat. When you connect them, they can be connected flat, or will the backside always have need for an air gap? You can connect it flat on, well, for mine, there is a tiny little gap. But these boards, when you're mounting them onto stuff, can be mounted flat. There's also the new standard 6.2, I think, millimeters of backing, like this much right here. And what this does is it lets you use standard pegboard mods and also modifications that run wiring in the back. So the little tiny bit of standoff actually helps to make this thing a little bit more useful. But you can mount a flat. There's flat mounts in there, Nico. So. Hey, Kevin with the 100 bits. Kevin, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You too. You too have a good night. I will now do more research as to what bits are, because I know they exist, and I know I can buy them, and I know that I can send them. But that's as far as my knowledge goes. But it sounds like a nice gesture, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Too bad. I understand Murph's about 40 miles from my house. That's what. Yeah. That's if it's that close, I would have been there. Indianapolis. Let's see. So this is, it's 614 miles away. So it's a 10-hour drive. Not an option. I guess it's not so bad. That's a possible drive, but nah, no way. That's a flight. That's a flight. What's the closest 3D printing gathering to New Jersey, New York area? Probably 3D Printopia, right? Yeah, that's in Bel Air, Maryland. Literally where I live. Yeah, that's probably the closest to New York, New Jersey. As far as I know. There might be smaller ones. 3-hour drive's doable. That's not bad. Yeah. One thing, like I said, that I also wanted to do here. Also, I'm gonna derail myself even before I get a chance. One of the coolest things that I found on here was right after you get into these tiles. There's also the whole other side to it. That's multi-bin. Multi-point as well, man. So, also, yeah, they have full step files of everything, by the way. So, multi-bin. This lets you create bins that can stand, that can sit, that can lay. They can be in any orientation and size, and they're extremely modular. Each bin can have inserts. It can have, what are they called? Like organizers inside. They can have drawers in various ways. They can have singles, doubles. You know, you can have them in any way that you want. And then there's these grids that kind of blow my mind, really. And I was even thinking of switching to these because if you look at what's happening here, this new set, essentially you have these plates, which are just these things in foursome groups, right? You can put these inserts into them. Like this one specifically, this one right here is the one that I was really interested in. It spins into itself. And then as you put in the other ones like this right here, this mini snap, it locks it all in place. So it's essentially both types of plate. Like this part and this part, this plate divider thing, really kind of blow my mind. What a ridiculous design. Like, yeah, right. And then so pins make it really easy to remove. Bar gives it a little bit more weight. They're super easy prints. And this is just like a single. You can have this thing span however many of these you want. And also, see how this side has this? That means you can use... where'd it go? You can use this. You can use this. You put in one of these suckers in there in whichever way that you want. There's a million ways you can do it. Right here. And you can hang the bins on it. Like, are you kidding me? This has got to be the most modular system ever. Rail sliders? Jeez. It just keeps going and going and going. And it's really just on some kind of level. There's also more. There's more. There's... yeah, this is also new. Like, you can... you can build out... It's insane. It's almost too much. You can build out ridiculous contraptions to hold various things and organize different things. It's really something else. This whole system is kind of mind-boggling to me. Yeah, K2 Kev was just in here. Yeah. Yep. I have a whole box of other people's maker chips. My logo is round. I should literally be able to make this into a maker chip pretty easily. My brain just doesn't work that way. Yeah, super cool. What? What? Yeah, yes. Yeah. It's really, oof, man. It's so vast. Oh my Lord. Ah. How deep into the... Oh my God. How deep can we go? Incredible stuff, man. You can really just do whatever. It's really, what a system. Yeah, mind-boggling. The fact that it all connects to itself, like, yeah, this is one thing, but like the fact that it's all together is just something else. I got a few 3 to 5 kilogram spools of ABS on printers busy. Yeah, they will be. Yeah, once you make your setup, figure out your setup. Yeah, it's just a ton of printing. Just a ton of printing. Yeah, maker chip. That might be the next. That might be the next one. It's definitely time to make a maker chip. Definitely time. Anyway, before I got derailed on multi-bin, the thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that I need to print. Let's see, where did I put it? Projects. Death Racers. Death Racers. Death Racers. So I'm going to do the Piranha. As much as I want to do the Ares, I really, really, really want to do the Ares. As much as I want to, though, I'm going to do the Piranha because I have the Piranha kit. So I will definitely need some help from you guys because I don't know. I don't have the smarts to be able to design something or think of something, I think, for this. But I need to figure out what to do for the rider's head. Obviously, I have a scan of myself. That's probably the simplest people do. But maybe something else. Maybe something more fun. But yeah, I'm going to do all black. Everything's going to be just PPS, CF, black. And I might do something in peak if I can. One of the notable things is the Piranha. Wait, is this not showing up? Right, this wasn't showing up. This is what I was trying to show. Yeah, this is what I was trying to show. But let's see, mainframe. It's definitely in the front fairings. I think I want. Yeah, I don't want any of those. Either this front. I believe this front. This is the front that I'm going to do simply because I think I'd want to protect the wheels as much as possible. This seems a little dingy to me, even though it looks cool. Same with the original Piranha. I think it looks cool, but I don't think it's going to be a good idea to do. What is the name? Oh, okay. So that's the Catan. I'm looking at Hammerhead. Yeah, okay. Hammerhead. Hammerhead would be the one that I do. By the way, for those just entering, there's 4 more minutes left in the Polymaker giveaway. There's links pinned in the chat of YouTube and in Twitch chat at the top. So head in there. It'll take you to Gleam.io. In Gleam.io, you can sign up. And if you are present, you could have a chance to win some filament. Yeah, it would be this one. Yep, this. Yeah, I feel like this would be the most robust and strongest front end. Yeah, and this will have a million heat inserts. But we have the kit, so it should be straightforward. There's also a spinning tool attachment, which I would want to do. Like, I want to make one of these. I don't really like these battering rams. In my experience, they break pretty easily. For the spinning one, I believe you need a different setup in here. Obviously, it can't just be a servo that spins left and right. It needs to be some kind of motor. Is it all in here? by the way? I don't know. But that would be something that I need to look into as well. Is there something here? Also, what was Gravedigger? Is that just the original? Wait, what is this? Huh? What's Gravedigger? This is the bottom. There's some kind of plow attachment? Yeah, I don't quite know what Gravedigger is. Let's see. Front fairings, rider, weapon. Dual bludgeon. Spinning. What's this? What's this? Okay, this is just a regular bludgeon. Yeah, so I would want to do this one. Requires 12-volt power. You'll need to use 11.1 3S LiPo batteries in place of 7.4 2S LiPo for the main build. Interesting, because I already bought 2S batteries, so that's a bummer. But you know, batteries are batteries. I don't mind. Okay, so you do need to buy. Okay, it's a whole geared motor. I mean, this just seems. Whoops, I must have clicked something. This just seems like a better thing. Since it's spinning always, you don't have to worry about also pivoting a battering ram. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into it. I don't mind scrapping the batteries that I have now and grabbing another set. So basically, I would just move to 3S batteries. Okay. Not a big deal. Tank. I did the border tiles. Sorry, I'm just catching up with all the chat. Put a life preserver hat. That's a great idea. I like that. That's a great idea. Yes and no. I do. But it would have to be annealed after the print. Dave. Yeah, hope so. Last year, I literally insta-lost. I lost within 3 seconds of driving in. Man, that's... Dave, tell him, man. That's weak. That's weak. All right, everybody. I think our giveaway is over. So let's go ahead and choose a winner. 75 people entered. I think that might be the most we've ever had. I'll have to double check in my files there. All right. Good luck, everybody. Let's go ahead and choose a winner. Let's go winners. I'm going to draw a winner. We'll do one. All right. I think we got one. Let's do announce winners widget. Announce with avatar. Boom. Congratulations to Jonathan S. Jonathan S., are you in the chat? Let us know. That's right. I usually do wait a little bit longer. Sneaky. So the way that we usually do this, in case for those that don't know, is usually I give about 5 or so minutes to whoever it is to claim the prize. If they don't claim it within that time frame, we choose another one. And then we'll do it again and again until we have a winner. Because the rule is you have to be present, you're here supporting, in the chat, live. That's how we do it. You need to check this against the likes. No like, no filament. 5 minutes is a lifetime. Yeah, I give them, I know that there's a delay. People will get an ad or something and be running late in the thing. Just trying to be all right. Email ends. Oh, Nigel, that's you. Wait, did you win already before? No, wait, you haven't. Hold on. I'll confirm. He says the email ends in OUR. I can confirm that. And you already know that I checked for the last 3 of the email. Jonathan, that is you. Congratulations, Nigel. I think we talked about this already. Your name. You did. You did win one. Awesome. Well, either way, congratulations. Like I said before, I don't mind repeat winners. I think it's great. You're here supporting me. I don't mind it. It's totally random. Anyone that's here in the chat is capable of winning. Rigged. There's at least one rigged comment. Unity, you're first. I love it. Oh man, it's that back. Wait, did you win the last one? That's kind of crazy. Well, that's even better. So this time you were number 60, it looks like. Well, you already know what to do then. Go ahead and shoot me another email to fedor@dsrp.tv. Fedor spelled Fedor. Let me know that you won, and probably tomorrow at some point I will shoot you the code and the winner's form. You'll put those two together, and it will add money onto your account, and you're free to do whatever. Very rigged. I've had, is that you, Chad? That right? We had that's funny. That's how you know Gryfang's been around for a minute. Oh man, 3 weeks or so. Nice. That's great. I love it. Love to see it. I thought he was joking too. Me too, Zumi. I didn't even. What's funny is I saw his comment, and I didn't even put it together. I was like, whatever. Yeah. There's at least there's a few people that say that they won every time. Cheers, man. No problem, Nigel. Shoot me that email. I'll get that to you, and we'll get you some more filament. Nice. That's really exciting. I'm happy about that. It's like, Nigel, you're here literally almost every single stream supporting me. I'll be happy to continue to give you filament if you're the one that's constantly in here. And if the random number generator goes your way, it is what it is. Maybe you should buy a lottery ticket, I'm new to the 3D print world. My H2D arrives tomorrow. Nice. I'm a poster in the chat. H2D is an unbelievable machine. I have one back here. Obviously, it printed the stuff that we did today. It's a phenomenal machine. Don't take that thing for granted. It's epic. Like it's ridiculous. So it's one crazy machine to start on, man. Like it's really impressive. Also, man, jump into our Discord. There's lots of like-minded people in there. Plenty of people that can help you with whatever you need. Advice. I'm in there all the time. I have it open mostly on my phone the entire day. If I see something happening in there, I usually jump in, chime in. So definitely jump into our Discord. There's plenty to do in there. I'll do my best to be out here to keep winning. Yeah, man, that's great. Yeah, I agree with this. HUD is nuts. It's nuts. Yeah, the Discord is really one of my favorites in there, and usually I try to get people riled up to talk about what they're printing and stuff, because sometimes it does go more stagnant than I'd want it to, even though there's well over 1,000 people in there. But yeah, guys, if you're in the Discord, don't be scared to just post the photo of what you're printing. Post the photo of the printer you're working on. Post the photo of, you know, your workspace. Everyone has their own different style and how they do things, and it's really cool to see that stuff. You know, most of the time, like, I'll be like working, and I'll have Discord open, and it's just fun to see, you know. So definitely don't be scared to start conversations in there or ask questions. That's what it's for, you know. I don't need another hobby. It just works. Yeah, he did a fantastic job in that review. I still haven't jumped in on that one. As in, like, I haven't made a review on it. But yeah, he did great. What's the Discord? It's always pinned in the description. There should be an invite in there. Also, if you want to search for it, it's 3D Print SOS. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. And thank you for being here. I know you got to keep eye on Shrimp Daddy, but appreciate you. Polymaker gave a gift code for a sample spool Murph last year. I got one spool, had some money left, so I added it. Got second spool and storage box. Yeah, they're crazy good with that kind of stuff. The SV0 is my new love-hate printer. Oh yeah. I still haven't heard back from Soval. So Soval and Elegoo are the only other brands that I don't have a contact with or dealt with really. Oh, I've dealt with them indirectly. I finally got a message from Anycubic, so I'll be working with some Anycubic stuff, which is fun. And that was the third brand that never got back to me for any reason. So I'm quickly catching up to all possible 3D printer brands. She really does. Nice. Glad to have you in there, man. Or woman. Sorry. I tend to do that time from time. It's just easier to say man. Nothing personal. Cool. Well, this was a little fun little stream, huh, guys? I had a lot of fun just kind of messing around. This is how my brain works. It's kind of all over the place. And even though it was just supposed to be chilling, talking about nonsense, we still got a little project done. So, that's I'm pretty proud of that. So just to go over it, just because it's fun, here's what we got. Let me take this thing apart. I need to go up and down. Click. Man, that's great. I love it. I love the modularity. All right, so here's what we got. We got multi-board tiles. Here is one that's made of 4 separate pieces. Let me grab a big single. Here is our big single. And what we have here is a way to mount this onto a Calyx shelf. And it's not meant to be at the front. It's meant to be on the back. I mean, you obviously could mount it on the front, but you're going to lose access to this thing. And you probably want a door. For me personally, right here, I have the back of my shelf. This is not the front, this is the back. And it's a little bit of an eyesore, and I also want to be able to use that space to hang things. So that's what this is for. I want to make a piece like this. I mean, you could technically put this thing on some kind of, on something that slides in and out. Maybe that's another thing that I'll work on. Some kind of mechanism that clicks in. Maybe even magnets or something. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But essentially, what we managed to figure out is this thing printing flat like this. Hold on. There we go. Printing flat like this. And what this enabled us to do is this is now really, really strong. As you guys saw, I broke some of these just by handling it, as in my previous design. I had them pre-printed upwards. So what this does is you look in the back, you find the corner, and that's the corner that you face. So for example, on this one, I'd be putting this one in the top right corner. So you would mount this onto your Calyx. You would come up with this, and you would snap this thing in place. Then to lock this thing, you would get your little lock ring on this side. You look for the square on one of these sides. This is on this side. That means I'm putting it into where this hole is. Snap this in place, and now that's locked in place. You can already hang stuff on it, but to completely lock yourself out, you need one of these mid-sized T locking nuts, and you want to put it diagonally. So screw it in until it can't anymore, which is right there. Make sure it's 45 degrees, and now if this thing is locked in, I mean, you will break this entire thing off trying to take this off. So that is going to hold the weight, and there's going to be 4 of them. You can use double-sided tape or use this screw to put in, use this to put a screw in there, and now you have yourself these awesome boards that you can pop off an entire display off. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's super cool. So more on that very soon. I'll have to do a video and talk about all the mistakes that I made and why and whatnot. And now the only thing that I have to do is print a whole bunch of mounts. So that's what we're going to be doing. Awesome. More printing. Have fun. I posted my multi-board wall on Discord. Finally, nice. Get the most out of the shot. Continues on to another 3 or so feet to the right behind the monitor. Awesome, nice. I look forward to checking that out. All right, everybody. I'm gonna call it here. Fun little stream. We'll have to do another one of these as soon as as soon as I get bored of the projects again, or not bored, but you can't just keep doing the same ones over and over again, right? Yep, exactly. Goals. All right, everybody. Thank you for your support. Guys, take a picture of this before I go. This takes you to my website, 3dprintsos.com. And this is a great way to support the channel outside of just digitally supporting it, like by, being a member or a Patreon. This gets you some pretty cool merch that I designed myself and all that kind of fun stuff. So take a picture, go to 3dprintsos.com. Grab yourself some cool merch. It's as cheap as I could possibly have it. It's literally not there for profit. It's to be able to give you guys something back. So definitely check all that out. All right, guys. Appreciate you as always. Hopefully I get a video to you soon. If you guys are interested in filament dryers, I just posted a video last week. Check that one out as well. Like, subscribe, all the things. Do all the stuff that YouTube tells you to do. Hey. All right, guys. All right, that's it. I'm out. Peace. See ya. Thank you, everybody. See you later. Later.